We're going back to so your favorite. I was asking, what are your favorite rap songs that have scratches in it, like rappers and scratches together? Because things are going apart so much these days with horrible cats and the MCs and and the B boys and B girls. They're doing their own things. I feel like they're the most organized. The B boys and B girls. That had to give it up to them because when I see all those competitions and like that, I'm like, wow, I wish it was like that for turntablists and the rappers. But the rap battles are cool, but they're still kind of smaller scale things. And they don't happen as much as the dancing battles.
This is a sore subject for me because, or I guess I think for a lot of people, because it's like, to put it a certain way, the DJ got cut out of the process by greedy rappers and greedy producers. To me, that's my opinion. It's like we got cut out, and so the DJ then had to hit the road and make their own money. Like what Grandmaster Flash, right? Like he got they're so mad at him because he's making all this money. He's like, well, I'm DJing the parties, like they're coming to see me. So that all happened, and I guess before that happened, there was a real collapse.
They got restraining orders against each other and stuff.
Yeah, no.
It's so sad. When things get really petty, like
money,
groups like that,
You don't want to split up.
Shout out to Dragons of Zenith. I used to be in a band called Dragons of Zenith.
Yeah.
And they had kicked me out back in the day. And
money and power splits up.
Families. But I'm still homies with them. I'm still homies. But it's unfortunate that Flash and Furious 5.
So you don't hear scratch. Like to me, it's like, and it's a little bit of it's the money. I mean, there's different things that happen. But when you obviously when you scratch on a record, you gotta give like writers credit. Or something
in the legal standpoint, they just won the right to be called the Furious Grandmasters. Furious 5.
Grandmasters.
They can build themselves because Flash was trying to stop them from being able to say Grandmaster Flash or like the Furious, even just the Furious 5. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean all that stuff. He was trying to own that and say that
that's
only
true.
You can tour.
Well, then there might be something else going on.
Maybe not just the Furious 5, but just definitely Grandmasters Furious 5 is what the judge let them do now.
Okay. So, as far as putting scratch on record, I guess you got Down with the King, Pete Rock, Run DMC, Mass Appeal by Gangstar, Premier, all of Premier's work, all of Pete Rock's work. I had this list. I have it written down, like my favorite songs, where it's like the chorus is the scratch.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, that's a classic style. I think that's a really cool style. It'd be cool if a pop artist blew up like that one day. Where,
let me ask you though.
Their album was like that, where it's like.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you though, because Premier pretty much invented phrase juggling, right? Like phrase juggling is
phrase scratching.
Maybe
other
people were doing that.
Juggling's more when you're going back on 2 records,
but Premier would do that on a chorus, where it'd be like a bunch of different samples as a chorus. He would build a chorus. So I feel like that's why people don't do that, because that's Premier's thing. Not like, you know what I mean? Like he really made that sound. Everyone who knows hip hop knows that's Premier's sound. So if you did a chorus like that, if I did a chorus like that, I'd be like, oh, well, you're doing your Premier thing, right? So
I think it's just really hard to do.
Yeah, that's
it. He's doing it really dope. Premier is really sick.
Yeah, he hears it.
Yeah, I transcribed, the J. Brew, the Damager, one. Come Clean.
Come Clean.
Come Clean. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's unreal, and he would build these choruses. He's building the chorus in his head, out of samples, and they fit together.
Exactly.
Dirty
Rotten Scoundrels.
Yeah.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
And I think there's a lot of room for that. I think a lot of I listen to a lot of rap, and there's not a lot of scratching on it.
Exactly.
And I think there's a lot of room for that. Maybe not even scratching, just sampling. And if they took their own stuff, you can always.
That's why Dr. Octagon was such a big thing, because the turntablists were like, wow, that's a solid album. It was like, okay, rapper, producer, and turntablists together, the whole trio thing.
Triple threat.
I'd love to see that.
Who are the great triple threats? Let's shout them out. Tony Touch. Who's the triple threats? Lord Finesse. Right?
Like Beatnuts or something?
Yeah, Psycho Les.
He's Beatnuts stuff? Beatnuts had a lot of scratches?
You gotta be a real DJ to be a triple threat, because that's producer, rapper, DJ. So you gotta be doing real DJ stuff, mixtapes.
Yeah.
You can't
just think about the battle between Kid Capri and Funkmaster Flex. That's a new thing. people are talking about.
Well, like a radio show
Yeah,
battle?
yeah, there's a battle happening right now. Capri and Flex are going back and forth.
Like, of words, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I'm better.
Yeah, not a sound clash or anything like that, no.
I think they're both sick, you know. I don't know about at their prime, you know, because...
yeah, at their prime. I mean, Funk Flex
was really killing it on Master One, Funkmaster Flex.
Did he invent
60 Minutes of Funk Volume 1? He was really killing it, and I was like, whoa. That was one of the reasons I wanted to get into turntablism.
Yeah.
You know, Funkmaster Flex Volume 1, you know, for the record, me saying that, you know.
But let me ask you, because I think he did invent it, because you referred to the Funkmaster Flex style. Where
he brings back killing that, you know.
Did anyone do that before
him? No, people were doing that. Yeah,
okay, alright, yeah.
People were doing
was
that.
that like
he didn't invent that.
Mr. Magic and
you know, that's just like backspinning.
Because you faded in,
like
and
Flash was doing that.
instrumental,
you know?
and then
Flash really started that.
Okay, so that's a Flash thing. Okay, because I always wondered
Yeah,
that because Funkmaster Flex does that so much, but that's just a hip hop standard. Yeah, because it's the best way to
It
drop
was
a
a
record.
Theodore, you know, the scratching, you know, Flash with the backspinning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Leaking the records, you know, because he's like.
Kid Capri though, yeah. I mean he. So wait, what's going on between them? They're just like talking back and forth.
Yeah, they're like, you know.
Because Kid Capri's got the radio show.
Who's got the skills? You know, they're talking about skills.
Oh. Hey, take it to the sound class.
Yeah, and Kid Capri, I didn't see the whole thing, but Kid Capri was killing it. I haven't seen
chop heads.
I haven't seen a Flex reply, you know.
Yeah, they like their own platform.
Yeah.
Flex is
exactly. So I'm curious. What about like radio hosts and radio DJs? Because you know, a lot of times you know people don't realize that you know there's a whole spectrum of DJs, all the way from turntablists who are like the physicists, all the way to people that aren't even touching turntables, that are even touching, they're just creating playlists.
Yeah.
Or even just talking about stuff and like Howard Stern, you know,
Yeah.
like Howard Stern's a big DJ.
Yeah.
He's famous. He's a DJ, really. You know, and a lot of times the talk show hosts are DJs, the ones that are playing music.
Yeah, Howard Stern's only a DJ because he touches the board.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put him, but because he's always had the board in front of him, so he is a DJ. You got to give it up to Howard, and his interview style is so sick.
Because he plays music, doesn't he? Doesn't he play music?
He'll play music. Yeah, when he comes back from commercial, he'll drop records. But it's the board. He has the board. He rocks everyone's levels. So if you're doing that, you're the DJ. But I would like the shows like they would have the artists on and do a full interview.
Mm-hmm.
They would do that. I mean, Hot 97 would do that, and the underground shows would do that. I remember like Fat Man Scoop when he would be on late. He would have some good guests. And he had some exclusives. That was weird. Like Fat Man Scoop would drop these amazing exclusives out of nowhere, like old exclusives.
Yeah.
Play them once every few years and like never play them again.
Wow.
And it was like specifically for Fat Man Scoop overnight show on Hot 97.
Wow.
Like, there's those.
It's like the late night shows where they have like the underground New York stuff.
No, Fat Man Scoop would just play
never
heavy
makes
rotation.
it to the rest of the U.S.
He would just play heavy rotation stuff. Like when Fat Man
Shout out to all those cats too.
Yeah. Hey, if you're programming your own list, if you're not handcuffed and being told what to play, shout out to
I mean
you.
the artists that don't make it past New York, the ones that they might play in that show where it's like a lot of times it's like kind of thuggish.
Well, local,
underground thuggish New York
people,
stuff.
Well, people don't like, they don't.
But now 6ix9ine's big, so 6ix9ine, New York underground came back up.
I mean, that's the thing. That's a
New
personal
York's
thing.
back,
I respect local performers. I respect local artists. A lot of people don't travel like that. And when you live in a place like New York, you don't really need to. You get the world kind of comes to you.
Yeah.
I do notice people who grow up in New York City kids, they're a little sheltered in their own way, but that's something else. If you don't want to get out and perform out, I don't blame you. If you want to just be a local performer. Also, I have a lot of respect for artists that just record music and just put out music. You make money from performing live. You make money from various things. But if you just
Shadow, so amazing.
And like
live, he said too. But I mean, like his albums, scratching and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
it's one of my favorite. Like for people that are producers and scratchers, like together. If you're looking at both,
I think that's what hurt me though, because there's less incentive in just recording good music these days. Like I love the good music, where someone's just in their zone and they record a new sound. It's the greatest thing in the world to me. But there's so much less incentive to do that now. But hey, you're never going to stop the people that are have the calling and are drawn to it. I just love records, and I see artists. They want to perform live. They want to have one big hit. They want to have other things than just like creating new sounds. And I guess you have to. I guess you got to sell T-shirts. I don't know.
But what's interesting is there's so many artists these days. You saw on Spotify has they said over 8,000 Lils, people with the LIL in front of their name.
Perfect.
Over 8,000, yeah.
Good.
So many rappers, you know.
Yeah, I you know, look.
Yeah.
Older people our age might feel hip hop's out of control.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's growing.
Mm-hmm.
It is out of control
Yeah.
because it's growing. It's half of music now.
Speaking of, before we were recording, we were talking about XXXTentacion. Like,
yeah.
you know, I was noting how, you know, a lot of the big Mexican American figures have been assassinated, and though he was a Mexican, he was, you know, kind of pushing a Spanish name.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like
Richie
Richie Valens, you know, Selena,
Yeah.
Jenny, you know, XXXTentacion, all these, like, big Spanish names.
Yeah.
You know? And I was telling my homie, you know, Seb in the video about that, like, be careful now, because they've gotten jumped twice.
Okay.
It's scary, you know?
This is a pretty important topic for me.
Yeah, so this is a really important topic. We're talking about XXXTentacion.
Assassinations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I felt trolled
Yeah.
when Chinks got killed.
Mhm.
Chinks Drugs from Queens,
Yeah.
from Far Rockaway, because
Mhm.
I felt he was pretty underground. Like, no one knew his name
Mhm.
too much unless you were super into hip hop and you were super into mixtapes
Mhm.
and New York. You didn't really know who he was. And when he was targeted and assassinated,
Mhm.
it was like right when he was about to pop off, and they were starting a new label,
Mhm.
and he's probably going to be like the president of the label. And also he was writing, like he wrote that big hit, French Montana, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Don't Stop, Pop That. Like, that's Chinks. Chinks wrote at least French's verse. I don't know what other verse. I think it was Chinks and Gunplay. I think Chinks and Gunplay wrote that song. But they did not get writer's credit, and that's like the biggest hit Coke Boy Records ever had. So I just felt like the timing of his death,
Mhm.
I felt very like trolled, because like no one even really knows who he is. Why would you
Remember
target
the guy
him?
that
He's not
got
famous.
remember that guy that got assassinated? He was on his knees and his hands in the
Who?
like assassination style, execution style. He was a manager for like Busta Rhymes back in the day, like Violator.
Oh,
He was the head
Chris
of Violator.
Lighty?
Yeah, Lighty.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
remember?
talk about Chris Lighty.
That's an assassination too. I mean, that's like a like.
Hold on.
Up.
Did you listen to rest in peace Combat Jack? But did you listen to Combat Jack's? He did a podcast about Chris Lighty where he really explored Chris Lighty's life. Did you hear that? It's called
No.
King, I think.
Mm-mm.
It's worth a listen. It's
Wow.
very interesting. So I love Chris Lighty. I
Yeah.
love his work, and it was like the full history of his life.
Wow.
And let's talk about his death, because
He was a DJ too.
Chris Lighty?
Yeah.
No, he
he was a
was
DJ?
he was the roadie for the Jungle Brothers,
Oh, okay.
and then he something instrumental with Tribe Called Quest. He was
Uh-huh.
great. He was hip hop. He was security. He did
Mhm.
security at clubs. Is how he knew
Mhm.
everyone. But he was and his family too. They were all great. But his assassination, to me, because I always thought about him a lot, and his artists always meant so much to me. It seemed like he was picking all the best artists. Like, it was one of his last picks was My Song.
Yeah.
My Son's running things now. This
Mhm.
just goes to show. He was killed when the time of his death, he had just his marriage was falling apart, and Bernie Madoff had just taken all his money. He
Wow.
was one of the people burned by Bernie Madoff, and what the autopsy said was that the gun was at close range, and it was at like a sideways at his head, like at this kind of angle.
Mhm.
So he either put the gun to his own head like that,
Mhm.
or someone was right next to him,
Mhm.
like right next to him, and
Mhm.
had it pressed up against his head.
Mhm.
To me, I think that the only person that could have done that was his wife,
Mhm.
because that's the only person who could be right up next to him,
Be like,
right?
yeah.
Or him, right?
Mhm.
So either way, like, to me, it's a 50-50.
Mhm.
And either way, I think of it as he did kill
Or
him.
more people, or he's got guns on him. He's like getting, and somebody's like getting on your knees, and then they go up. to
He
him
was
and do
sitting.
that,
He was
like
sitting.
A Tarantino movie or
He was
something.
sitting. He wasn't kneeling.
Oh,
He
okay.
was. I believe. I think that's what I remember.
Yeah, I thought he was kneeling. I thought he was like, I thought it was like
No,
execution style. Oh.
no, it was bullet side of the head, but he was sitting in a chair in his backyard. There were movers in the house.
Yeah.
There were people in the house.
So let's talk about Jam Master Jay though.
In a second, hold on.
Okay.
Let me just finish, because
Yeah.
I think what I figure is that whether his wife, because if his wife had him assassinated,
Mhm.
then it was him introducing her into his life that got him killed, and he chose to marry her. His family apparently, like, it was an industry wedding, and it was like people were iffy about her and all that. Whatever, it was his choice. Or he killed himself because of because his marriage was falling apart, and because this big financial hit. To this day, that's how I feel about it. It's one or the other.
Yeah, but he could have owed somebody money.
He lost it all.
That's what I'm saying. If he lost all his money, then he might have owed some. He might have been like, oh yeah, it's supposed to
He did.
$500,000 check next month.
There was a deal.
He bounced that $500,000 check or something.
Just like Prodigy of Mobb Deep, there was a deal. He had a deal that was kind of brewing. That I think
if he lost his money, he might have owed somebody a bunch of money. You know.
So so that's how I feel about. Rest in peace, Chris Lighty. He was an enormous inspiration on me through the music he put out, through the artists he empowered. His legacy is unreal.
Remember somebody shot up their van back then. Remember the Violator van got shot up?
The officers got shot up.
The van got shot up once too back in New York. Yeah, like, you know.
Yeah, Chris was
maybe 15 years.
Chris was an inspiration, and I think a lot of people could learn from his story. And but let's talk about Jam Master Jay.
Yeah,
same
do you think that was assassination, or do you think it was just a robbery? Just like XXXTentacion, it's like, okay, are these just robberies, or are these assassinations that they rob the person to make it look like a robbery?
And there's more money in the kill, because some people do that for a living, apparently.
So he's suggesting that.
That's what I say. Yeah. Well, with Extension, because apparently they took the bag and then shot, and his last words apparently were "What the fuck," right? So that means that he gave them the bag and then they pointed the gun at him. That, to me, that tells me there's more money in the kill.
Yeah.
Jam Master Jay. The thing about that is there was a lot of witnesses. So you're talking about a particular kind of situation with that. I didn't know if there was like robbery. I haven't looked up, but it was definitely an assassination. They went to his desk. I pray that he didn't know what hit him. I pray he was looking at the computer screen, he was doing his work, and that he was just going, just like X. Like, oh no, X knew what was going on. I thought for a minute maybe they just shot X, but he knew what was going on. But Jay, I pray he didn't even know. He just lost in the music forever.
Wow.
But there was people there in the studio, and I believe there's details, like, I think things come, when time passes and like people die and statute of limitations run out, or people feel like they're reaching the end of their life, they start talking, and that's
so happening. Has any more information come out?
That's the thing. I think in the last year or so, there's been like that's the thing, is like information can't come out, but it's like if there's talk of information coming out, something's bubbling.
It's interesting.
And I think that is like hopefully.
Because it's interesting. There's a lot of crime and politics going on within DJ world. It's interesting. Like in rap world, rap is always a lot of death, but DJs are having deaths now too.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of interesting, is even not having to be gangster and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
like DJ Mehdi, from Ed Banger.
Ed Banger, records.
He just passed away, not long ago, years back. Falling through a window. It's so sad. Rest in peace. There's a lot of DJs. DJ News. This is a DJ News outlet. Essentially. So
And DJs act like peacemakers. DJs act like diplomats. They go around, they meet everyone, right?
And that guy, what's he called? Was it?
Was Pumpkinhead?
Who just passed away? The Avicii.
Yeah, I don't know about him.
Away.
What's up? Was he good? Was he? He seemed
he was like a big.
He was
EDM.
popular.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know about all them DJs too much, but I guess he was a big deal.
Yeah.
And Pumpkinhead, Pumpkinhead was a rapper, but he wasn't a DJ. But he was, to me, like also a great diplomat, like organizer.
So I DJ'd this thing. This is back in the day, and Pumpkinhead was performing, and I remember Eminem came to the crowd. I didn't know who Eminem was, but my friend Melissa Manuels, that was.
And he was in the Outsiders
too. She knew who he was.
Outsiders.
Eminem just came through. I was like, oh, Eminem. I didn't know. Before his hair was blonde.
Yeah.
When he looked up at Dre, that his hair blonde was very smart. I think it was a smart move. Yeah. But yeah, I think that XX was assassinated, and possibly Jam Master Jay too.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of animosity towards black males.
With Jay.
But check this out though. This is a bold statement. Scratch Academy's never invited me over. Why would they never invite me? Skratch Academy never invited me. That's
I don't
interesting.
know. I don't know Skratch Academy. I don't know them to be a source of any sort of.
Yeah, but their Atlanta thing just closed.
School,
Which is,
some kind of
which is
school.
kinda sad. Yeah,
What was that?
their Atlanta store just closed. Yeah.
Is that what? I mean, what is that? Is that school?
I mean, they started a school. I mean, you know, yeah, they have a school that closed down. You know, but the Beat Junkies just opened up the Beat Junkies Institute of Sound, so that's a win for the turntablism. You know, but that's sad to see a scratch school closing. But you know, that was a scratch school started by Jam Master Jay.
Scratch Academy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and that was a black-run institution.
Okay.
And he was murdered. I'm pretty sure he was murdered. Yeah, he started Scratch Academy before he was murdered.
Okay.
So to me, it's just like, wow, a black man starts an academy and he gets murdered.
Mm.
I think, yeah, you know, they say most lynchings back in the day were actually from, you know, business professionals, not just common people.
Yeah, Malcolm X's father.
Yeah,
Malcolm
exactly.
X's father was
wealthy people, you know.
That's a story I think of more Americans
people
should
that
know.
are trying to enact a lot of change, and I think when you go to X's site, it says that like he wanted to change the world. Like he's like, I'm not just a musician, I'm trying to change the world, you know. So it's like that could be threatening to a lot of people, and they say he got a lot of death threats from the KKK. Remember?
Okay.
Remember when he had the video, the controversial video of him hanging somebody?
I don't remember, no.
And then the KKK was like, well, we're gonna kill you, and they sent him death threats.
Because they're terrorists.
So he's saying, yeah. So I think this could be the KKK, just because the people saw black married people do doesn't mean that wasn't paid for by the KKK.
My opinion is
I believe
that
both sides can pay for shooters that look like anything.
yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah, my
They
opinion.
can be like, hey, well, let's just pay for some Melissa guy to do.
There's got to be
a black American guy to do.
There's got to be a Uber of mercenaries out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be a database somewhere that I was
Exactly.
booked.
Exactly.
I like the idea of the
Yeah.
streets being safe, like a young woman being able to
exactly.
walk
Like
herself
every stoplight.
home. Yeah,
Every
yeah.
stoplight having a camera, and then I think that even in the future, you know, schools and education, parents can monitor their kids, just like how daycares now they can monitor their kids.
Yeah.
I actually am pro video camera for, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel like, oh, you know, you should be able to have privacy, you shouldn't have a light on a camera on every corner, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because then it's like, then the truth it's almost like a light that's shining the
Exactly.
truth.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the truth.
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
I have the privilege of being a very tall guy, and I worked night job, and I would go on these lovely long walks home, you know, just me and myself, and enjoying my space. And it's like I would like that if everyone could experience that. It would be nice. It would be a nice world for people to enjoy that. I think.
Oh yeah, so you're saying like
a
you
young
can see
woman
it through the
could
cameras.
walk
Yeah, they
home,
could be like
you know?
like Google Maps, but being able to see the actual street corners too. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, or no, I mean,
Right?
just
Imagine if Google Maps people could actually
live.
be like, I'm at the street now. Look, I can see. Look.
Yeah.
Oh, over there. Oh, I'm just hanging out.
This
You
web.
know?
Yeah.
People would hang out. They'd be hanging out at Google Maps
Yeah.
if they could see what's actually. Also, they're eating pizza. You know?
Yeah. I mean.
And then we could probably talk to each other and be like, plug in and be like, oh look, I'm here.
I wish there was cameras everywhere. They got watch out for people who want to hit your car on purpose. It happened to me. The guy hit my car on purpose and then told the cops like complete lie. And I'm like, wait, what? You're lying. And then, and now it's 50-50.
Yeah.
So my insurance company gives him all the money he asked for.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
insurance can't watch
that for money.
And if I had cameras in my car, or if there was a camera up, you know, at the light, they'd say, "Oh, look, you hit the guy."
Exactly.
But with no footage, there's no proof. That's a big thing now. Watch out for that. You know, it was very popular in Russia, and now it's making its way over here now.
Yeah.
Wonder why that is.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. Yeah. Speaking of Russia, yeah, there's a lot of big turntables community scratching there.
Okay.
The Executioners just battled a Russian scratch crew.
Well, they love records.
Yeah.
Love records in Russia.
And there's this guy named Chin Machine who's a really sick scratch DJ and finger drummer.
Yeah.
He battled them, and they did pretty well against the Executioners, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should definitely check that battle out. We'll put a link to that maybe.
Executioners is
Yeah.
nice. Rest in peace, Rock Raedawn.
Yeah. So when did you first see Rock Raider?
Just the mixtapes like Napster, like 98 downloading, like anything Beat Junkies or Babu, you know.
Okay. So that's what I was just saying. Maybe we got cut off. They're starting a DJ school, the Institute of Sound, Beat Junkies.
Oh, okay. It's called the Institute of Sound?
Yeah, the Junkies Institute of Sound, I believe.
Cool.
And it's a big giant warehouse in California. They got, summer school programs. It's really great. That's what I'm saying. That's +1 for turntablism.
Yeah.
Plus 100, plus 1,000 for turntablism.
Yeah.
1 million. Because that's a big thing, cultivating the scratch notation.
I think if these kids knew how easy it was to record their own voice, record their own sound, run it through the Serato and scratch it, scratch their own sound. If they knew that, I think it would be crazy. Everyone would be scratching everything.
Yeah, right. ABCs, they can do that for kids, So how do you feel? When was the first time you heard about scratch notation?
Definitely from you. I mean,
what year would you say?
No one's done. 2001.
Okay, good. Well, see, so this is a little ahead. Let's see, a lot of people found out about TTM, 2008.
Were you developing it then?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
No, 99. I put out I made the fundamentals at the end of '99.
Yeah. And you were teaching. I guess it was like private lessons, but you were teaching DJ. You were giving people DJ lessons, I think then.
Yeah.
And then you had that job.
I was giving DJ lessons before 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Before 9/11 happened, because I was getting a lot of students, and then 9/11 happened, and everybody's interest in DJing in New York
everything just stopped.
went away for a long time. So it was like, it was like rebuilding after that.
Mass massacre in front of us.
Yeah, that was deep. Yeah, because I had a bunch of DJ students. Echo Aoki was one of my students. Steve Aoki's sister.
Yeah.
I went to NYU with her.
Oh wow.
Also Reba. I forgot Reba's last name.
I love it when you put everything together. If you have the blend going where two things are combined, you got some scratches in there. You're bringing in the next track. I just love all the elements together. It's hard work when you're groove. I think it's the challenge of the DJ is like there's the groove and then there's like the impact. And I think there's a lot of impact DJs. It's like too much impact. Like Night Stalker. What's the guy? Night Stalker or whatever. Or
Who's Night Stalker?
Sorry, I can't believe I'm forgetting.
X-Men?
The Night Stalker was the mixtape. It's a huge DJ. It's like a club DJ. It's like everything's like sample. It's too fast. It's like there's no groove. There's never a groove. It
was like kind of like that Polish kind of like.
Shit, I wish I.
Techno?
You know this DJ because it's like he's a famous.
Like Gabber kind
of. It's too fast. It's like it like just sample it and just like bang on it and then just like keep going to the next and like. A beat will drop and it'll just be like that, and then like to the next. There's
okay. So you don't like DJs that do the quick mixes.
Like short attention span. Yeah, to me it's like short attention span. Because if a dope beat comes in,
I let's let songs play the end sometimes.
Yeah. Like let it go or
whatever it is. Last bar.
However it works. Yeah, exactly. Some songs ride out to the last note, and you gotta just drop train wreck. Not train wreck, but just drop the next beat.
Exactly.
That the music should dictate. I think kind of what goes on.
How often do you DJ at home? I'm curious.
I have not touched my turntables since the summer of 2015 when I had all that set up. It's in my and before that I hadn't touched turntables in about 8 years. But as soon as I touched it, it was muscle memory. It was right back, and I had a brand new mixer. And every time I break it out, it's like muscle memory. So it's definitely a thing that never goes away. But when you have a small apartment in the city. And you don't want your records out everywhere, and you can't really handle that space-wise. You kind of get
So do you feel the city might be killing turntablism? Because I know a lot of cats are just moving.
I think
I was talking to my homie today. And I was like, "Yo, let's have a scratch session come through." He's like, "Yo, I'm moving. I'm gone. I'm in LA.
That's a nuanced question because it goes both ways. You got friends. I got friends. It's like I know they need more space. They need a bigger shop. They need room. If they do art, it's like you can't do art in these little apartments. You get killed with the fumes. But the city does bring a lot of people together, and you can get like 8 people into a room like this, and just like everyone kind of jamming out.
Exactly. It's legendary stuff.
Yeah, it's like a half and half thing.
Yeah.
I feel
like
we
start having some like scratch events here. Like, just tell people to bring their mixers here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think DJ contests. I know they have the DMC battles and stuff. Like when they do the DMC battles, like do they have a standardized like, look, this is the mixer, these are the turntables, and you have to work with that, or do they?
No, they let people do a lot of stuff.
Bring your own mixer and stuff.
You can be like hitting samples now.
Okay.
Like,
I don't know how How do you feel about that? Like it should be like
right.
Just be standardized.
Like
Like
we do have a battle like that, I think.
okay, we gotta bring a record like 30 records.
DMC has a lot of different battles.
Okay.
But I'm starting my own battle called the TTM World Cup, and it's it's kind of a grant in a sense too, but it's starting out $500 this year. I'm gonna put $500 for one turntablist that has the most number of styles.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that can drop the most number of styles.
Wow.
I'm a style-oriented scratcher.
Yeah.
I'm looking to expand my palette, expand the number of styles that I can drop.
Yeah.
But a lot of times these days, if you drop a lot of styles in the thing, people they only hear when they hear a certain couple of styles in a certain way.
Yeah.
If you drop some new styles, a lot of times the judges don't go for it. So there's a lot of I feel subjective judging battles.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to make a non-subjective judging battle where you can really go by the criteria of how many styles.
Yeah.
And anybody can count. They're like, oh yeah, he did that thing. Oh, he did that thing. He did that. Okay, he did 20 different styles. This person did 12 styles, and the person with 20
points. Yeah.
Yeah.
As points for style. It's like life. You
like
get to
gymnastics,
a certain point,
but like gymnastics.
Yeah.
Really, really taking it to that extreme level,
That's dope. Yeah, you're cataloging all the techniques, Anyone that can bring new stuff to the table, that's hip hop. That's the deal of hip hop. You bring something new to the table, you're in. That's your ticket.
So that's the TTM Academy headquarters logo.
Oh. The world.
Yeah. That's really old. That's from like 2015 or 14 or something. But yeah, I came back as a visual artist, and I've only been doing pretty much marker for the past, since like 2012 or something maybe.
Cool.
I've been doing marker, but I'm about to get back into oil paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about DJ battles. Have you ever been to a DJ battle?
No.
You just seen them.
I don't even know. Like, I just know like DMC. I mean, like the Jamaican Sound Clash thing is like to me kind of like chopping heads. The original like bluesman. Like
exactly. I'm from Mississippi.
You told me about that.
I'm from Mississippi. The chopping heads. Because that's the original. They would battle each other on the street, and they would have guitars, and one person would stand in one corner, other person would stand in one corner, and they would try to get fans. It'd be like a little party,
Like that's chopping heads. Like that's specifically chopping heads, where you're set up in two different places and you see where the crowds go.
Yeah, exactly.
But a sound clash, I guess, a Jamaican sound clash, everyone's in the same place, same stage, and it's just like one
battle, exactly.
and then another team gets their thing.
About those clashes,
And I guess Swiss and Timbaland are doing.
A lot of people don't talk about the fact that Jamaica is an ancient civilization. Aztecs, Mayans, Olmecs. All these civilizations go back. Jamaica's not that far away. It's like so hop, step, and jump away from central Mexico.
That makes sense.
It's not far away.
Yeah.
They found Mayan ruins in Georgia.
Okay.
They found, or maybe it was Aztec. I don't know if it was Aztec or it was Mayan.
Yeah, it's America. That's America.
Or maybe it was Toltec or something else. But
is it America? The whole thing. So north and south. That's America.
Exactly. So so let's talk about being a New Yorker and as a DJ. Like, what are your DJ spots? Like. Or you online DJ? I mean, where do you buy stuff online?
Well, let's talk about
record stores.
Let's talk about this because New York, I think, is and maybe America.
Some people come here because a lot of people like from people go to like A1 Records. A lot of people from international people, especially from Asia, come to A1 Records, and it's a very popular record store that still survived. A lot of record stores closed.
Yeah, I mean, you mean for shopping?
Yeah, like shopping, buying, or do you just buy stuff online, or just rarely? Like, how did you find out about the collective? It's like the Rumble record, right?
Yeah, I think that's how.
How'd you find out about that?
I think it must have been online.
Oh, okay.
I forget, but I mean, New York. It's interesting. You tell someone you're a DJ in New York, and they treat you like you're a dreamer. But if you're in Europe and you tell someone you're a DJ, they're like, okay, wow, you have a real job somewhere. You're a program director at a station, or a fleet of stations. Your opinion is actually respected. But New York, New York has this attitude of, is that what you like? Well, is it making you money? You know, you can't just have a hobby or a passion here. It's like, well, what are you doing about it? Like, that's kind of the New York attitude. And if you tell someone you're a DJ, it's like, all right, well, where's your residency? Where are you spinning? And to me, it's like, well, I'm a DJ by passion. That's, you know, I will always be a DJ.
Yeah, but you're right about the New York thing because see, what I realized about New York, that's a lot of other places, is that New York, the rents are so high that it makes you like, oh, the rent's high, gotta make these things happen real quick to make money for the rent. Whereas other places you can just lay back and like, hey, it's a beach, it's sunshine, or sunshine, it's a mall, you know, sunshine, you know.
I mean,
and you can have a lot cheaper rent, a third cheaper, you know, fourth cheaper, fifth cheaper sometimes.
And it is good. Personally, like I'm a lazy person, so I need a fire lit under my ass to keep me moving.
Yeah, would you ever leave New York, or
I don't want to, but I guess to find more space, I have to. Like,
so we talk about financial things on here too. TTM Chat, you know, and you're a homeowner. You guys are.
Not me. No.
Oh, you're not.
I contribute to a home that is owned, I contribute. I support the person who owns it.
Yeah.
I like things aren't in my name.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't want things in my name.
Yeah.
But real estate is the only form of, or some people say real estate is the only real form of wealth.
Yeah, because I was talking to my friend about, you know, turntablist universities and you know, the idea that, you know, Cubers started Skratch University. You know, there's a bunch of people that started DJ schools. Emma Shorty started, you know, School of Scratch, Studio Scratches. You know, and the Beat Junkies had their, you know, new institute now. You know, I've always wanted to make a physical building for TTM Academy. Like this is a you know, brownstone, but you know, actual physical building. And I was telling some of my friends, you know, it'd be cool to have architecture that's actually built around scratching, DJing, where it's actually one of these. You know, where it's an actual, like, you know, just like you have a Pentagon, have an actual like a circular thing or some type of cool DJ shape.
Yeah.
That's, you know, like an actual, imagine this was like cylindrical, Apple's making that thing, that round thing, but, you know, it doesn't even have to be cylindrical, it can even be the matrix, like the scratch matrix, because that's kind of a building structure, you know, I get them printed from architectural places.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, you set up things that last. I mean, that's I think a big, important lesson of life, is that you can't have schemes, you can't have hustles. You gotta set up things that last.
Yeah.
Like,
so what are you here, especially schemes and hustles, what are you here to sell? Because remember you were saying off camera that Johnny Carson said that if you're coming onto a show, you gotta have something to sell. What are you looking to sell?
What am I looking to sell? I am looking to sell people on the idea that when you wish ill on other people, you actually hurt God. Or hurt God is a concept, you know, whatever.